Hello, this is Roger Miller. I'm doing something a little bit different, going through a series of videos here. Again, this is just raw videos, no editing happening. Most of my work has been done under the idea about control mass variation, and objects traveling around a central point and creating force, propellentless propulsion. This one's a little bit different. I was watching a video many years ago, and I can't remember whether it's Michikaku or Brian Greene, but talking about sitting in a boat in the ocean, looking up with the moon overhead, and what would happen if aliens came and just zapped the moon away. And if the aliens zapped the moon away, the person sitting on a boat in the water on Earth would not see it immediately of when it actually happened. It would actually take light a little over a second to actually travel from where the moon was to that observer, and at that point you know that it was done, what the aliens had done. Now, it wouldn't just be the light though that would take time. It would be all the other forces that the moon exerts. So gravity was the point. That as soon as the gravity would be a delay also in the gravity actually, and that got me thinking a little bit more about I think it was one of Brian Greene's book, where he talked about your now is different than mine now. If you're sitting in a classroom, it's like 30 billionths of a second for the light to travel from the 2 points. So that kind of made me came up with this idea where I would have two magnets and flip one around. We'll say that they're attracting, they're repelling right here. So they're attracting right now. So at this distance, they're still attracting each other. They're equal and opposite forces on either one. But if I flip this one around, that for the split, so now they're actually being repelled. And the idea is to flip these in a way so that the north-south that would be pushing this way would actually hit this and repel it. And as soon as it it started to feel repelled, it'd flip over and change it so it'd be attracted. But before that happened, I actually flipped this over. And anyways, the idea is to actually get it so that you could actually create it so that there's more of a time where they're being repelled on one side. And the thought process is actually to use an iron bar to do that. Because that one you don't have to necessarily. So I actually bought this magnet. It's supposed to be a strong magnet, 50 pounds. Realizing it's not as strong as I thought it should be. The idea is to like have a battery hooked up to it, to have it be in one polarity. Actually, when the magnet was turned on, so say this is north-south, that magnetic wave would take time to travel through the entire iron bar. And the idea is that you turned it so that it's north, so it realign all the electrons in here, so it's being attracted to this. But it would take time for everyone to switch through this, and then when you switched it back, initially be attracted, but it's going to be also repelling as these things are until these all realign back together. And if you switched it north, and if you kept on switching the polarity of the magnetic field back and forth, you could actually create a repulsion that'll actually push it in one direction. So that was the idea. But one of the concerns we had, the idea is okay, yeah, this is a strong magnet, or at least I thought it was. I said I bought it. It's supposed to be, you put one side. Oh yeah, look at it. It's making the magnet spin. Fantastic. But when you get it to actually this distance, I don't know if you can see that on here, but hopefully you can see that. It does not move at all. So this magnet is not strong enough. I got too much iron, I think, in here. So I mean, if you if you put it in this way, I mean, just even from this distance, it would change things. So it's not even as strong as those magnets there, so which is kind of disappointing. Not really getting much. Oops, let's set this up. Not really getting much movement on that. So anyways, the idea here is I'm going to I actually built a nice apparatus, do all this testing, to use this magnet to try to create force, and nothing happened. And I'm realizing now that my magnet wasn't strong enough. So I need to get a truly strong magnet. And again, this is different. I have my control mass variation. I was actually calling this control force generation, CFG. I created some videos kind of showing that if you'd have this, two magnets actually set up separate, flipping back and forth, there's a way that you could get it so that, if you timed it just right, that this one would always be attracted to what it's seeing from this one, and this one would always be repelling what it saw from this one. So if this was being attracted and this one's being repelling, it would actually cause it to move there as these things were spinning. Anyways, that's the concept behind it. Just need to figure out how to work it. I think this is probably truly the one way that'll, the propellentless propulsion. This is probably the most realistic way of thinking that it'd be done. The other way will create propulsion, but I think this has probably the greatest upside if I can get this working. Anyways, thank you for listening, and hopefully I have some more videos of actually showing some additional testing that I'm doing, results. Thanks. Bye now.